As the saying goes, you shouldn't pair red wine with chocolate. In this case, we strongly advise that you don't pair wine with a high-performance car. Unless, of course, you put the owner of Marquis Wines in the 2015 Range Rover Evoque, brought to you by Dilawri Group of Companies and Land Rover Vancouver. That is why we picked this month's guest, John Clerides, owner of Marquis Wine Cellars. The European flair for life is in his blood. Both of his parents immigrated from the Mediterranean to Canada. When he opened Marquis Wines, he decided to bring the European lifestyle to the west coast of Canada. John continues to be passionate about educating new customers on how to enjoy wine, even if it's in the company of friends and the Canuck game is on. So our host Steve Burgess went for a ride to Queen Elizabeth Park and learned a little more about Clerides and Marquis Wines on this episode of CEOs and Cars.
John Clerides.
Hey Steve, nice meeting you.
Of Marquis Wines.
Yep.
Are you ready to do some ranging?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, let's go.
All right.
We got to get the official now. Here's the official first question. The
Yes,
traditional
sir.
first question. What was your first car?
You want to know?
Yep.
1965 Mustang Notchback.
A 1965 Mustang Notchback.
Yep.
And was it new?
No, it was bought it in 1976 for $1,300.
Was that a good deal?
It was I won 1,100. It was a little pricey back then. Bought it from a guy in New Westminster, and yeah, that was my first car.
Talking about things that have been around a long time.
Yep.
Marquis Wines.
Right.
So that was when you started out. You were selling wines from a single winery.
Right. There's only about 5 wineries in BC at the time, though.
Right. And no imports.
Not allowed. No. And that was Free Trade and GATT did that. So we were grandfathered. Not that the provincial government had the foresight to allow private shops. It was forced by an international agreement, like most good things.
So
From a little cynical, you'll see.
Were you a wine aficionado at all?
None. Zero. Knew nothing.
It was like Carling Black Label or something?
Pretty well. I mean, the wine business at the time was, it was just big plonk stuff. That what we know it today, it didn't exist. There were 6 BC wineries, so there was no industry. You
had to educate your clientele as well. Right?
Yeah, what's carried in the government stores, that's the consumer's reference point, right? They don't know. They do now. They know there's some options, but at that time I haven't heard of this. Well, what's this $26 Infidel back when things were $12?
Mm-hmm. When did you start to see things change? We realized, okay, the public is starting to understand.
About 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
People are talking about, I'm going to have a glass of wine. My day, and I'm sure in your day, let's go for a beer. I mean, that's still prevalent.
Sure.
Wine was associated with snobbery, with arrogance, with high tea and English, all that stuff, and the average consumer didn't want to be associated with that.
Were you having a tough time of it then? I mean, were you making a go of it before, while you were waiting for the world to catch up to you?
It was no, it was tough. I was always overdrawn because I was bringing in really frickin' cool wines that no one ever heard of.
Right.
So there's a great example. There's this great producer we bring in from the Rhone Valley. I don't want to, August Clap Cornas. I had 5 vintages downstairs because no one knew what the hell it was. Now we can't get enough and we sell it out.
Huh. So how long did you have those things in the basement?
A long time, and I was getting crap from all my team. I said, you know what?
Someday.
This is one wine we're keeping.
I've heard some people suggest that there's a point where you're paying too much. They say the same thing for olive oil. That there's a certain price where it's ridiculous. No olive oil could be this good. Is there a point where you can pay too much for any bottle of wine, or are there wines that are worth almost any price?
Look, the cost of producing a bottle of wine, it doesn't matter if you're DRC or Yellowtail. It's the max, maybe $20 a bottle. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little bit more. The rest is marketing and supply and demand. I mean, at the end of the day, is a Pagani car worth, $1.3 million? Only if someone wants to pay for it.
Right. I think in this case it was a good thing that we didn't mix business and driving.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, no Chateauneuf in the back seat with some glasses.
It was a real pleasure.
It was a pleasure. Thank you very much. It was fun doing it.
You know what would be great would be the commercials, though. I'm Johnny
yeah.
from the Wine Warehouse. I'm crazy.
Get Gilbert Godfrey.
Yeah, that's right.
You really like this wine?
I must be insane.